Joshua Owen will start on pole position for his first race of the day, with Larry Price alongside Max Greatrex and Sam Howell on row 2, Maximus Lewis and Bobby Peat on row number 3. Alex McCullough, who's a new name to the CKC, he starts in 7th with Ralphie Branscombe alongside James Winstanley and Max Wheatley on row 5, with Max Williams and Amy Peacock on row number 6. Row 7 will see Thomas Potter and Cameron Tipping, with Alex Lynn and Thomas Percox on row 8. Isabella Stansmore-Wilson starts 17th with Rio Wardali in 18th. The 20 completed by Max Housego and Harry Samuel, with Drew Davidson and Harris Ali on row 11, George Ralston and Lewis Hall on row number 12. The grid completed then by Heat 1 winner Stanley Clark and Jack Collinson, going off 26th place. Now, if you are just joining us, some of these drivers will have been out earlier on, and some of them, this will be their first race of the day, because in Hondas we have a 3 out of 4 format, so some of our drivers will go in heats 1, 2 and 3, some will go in 1, 3 and 4, and then at the end you've raced everybody, and then we'll collect all your points. The top 20 in terms of points, they'll go straight into the A final, as we see Bobby Peat going off P6. This will be his first race of the day, as will Max Lewis in the 46 on the other side as well. Larry Price off the front row will be looking to maximise his chances in this one. Needs a quick start to jump the rest of the pack and move away. He's probably going to be the favourite for this one. Don't discount some further back. We've got the 24 of Wheatley and the 20 of Potter not too far back either. See a number of drivers there aggressively rake towards the inside. They want to get there because they don't want to be on the outside on that long run up the Dragon straight towards Spoon. Lights are on. They're out and we're away and racing in Honda Cadet Heat 2. Joshua Owen with a good start means Larry Price is going to have to do, and there's a concertina effect. Looks like Branscombe went up the back of somebody there as we tried to take 4 cars into a corner that is only at best 3 wide, probably only 2 if you want to be comfortable round there. So Joshua Owen still leading away, Max Lewis going wide, and this contact looked like it was Alex Lynn going up in the air there on the right-hand side. We've got a number of carts off facing the wrong way. Stansmore-Wilson is one of them, Branscombe as well. Alex Lynn stationary in the number 6. We've got a couple of drivers getting out there because the grass is so wet. They're getting some wheel spin. Harris Ali was involved, George Ralston as well. The field spread now absolutely massive in this Honda Heat number 1. Let's see where they are as they come through. It was Joshua Owen leading the way for the first few corners, but now we've got Larry Price out at the front from Max Greatrex, Sam Howell, Max Wheatley, Alex McCullough with Amy Peacock, Joshua Owen, Max Williams, James Winstanley and Bobby Peat, your top 10 in front of Cameron Tipping and Thomas Potter. Pretty much everybody then down to around about 17th through cleanly, then 18th. We've got a spinner there on the outside. Looks like that could be Alex Lynn's kart still there. Yellow flags out down there, and we have got drivers making overtakes up there. I am fairly sure our clerk of the course will take a very, very dim view of any moves up into Spoon whilst the yellow flag's out and we have a stationary cart on the grass. Now, that will be moved in due course, but as the field spread is quite big, they're going to have to wait until there's a gap in the traffic to go over there and drag that cart out of the way. We don't want a marshal in the way while the carts are coming through. So whilst the cart is not in a good position, the warning flag enough at the time being to negate any opportunities as Amy Peacock moves to the inside. She's going to push Sam Howell through, I think, on Max Greatrex. Max Wheatley up into 2nd place. There's the battle. Looks like the cart has been moved, so it looks like when we get down to the camera, yeah, the yellow flag there at the top of the hill, the Marshals post. The Marshals post 3, no flag shown, so we are clear to go racing and have potential overtakes into that corner now as Amy Peacock finds a way through on Sam Howell, and we'll move up into what will now be 3rd place because they've both managed to find a way past Max Greatrex. So Amy Peacock, who was going well in Heat 1 until having had to take to the grass in evasive action of a spinning cart, is moving forwards now into the top 3 for the first time. Howell in 4th, Greatrex, Williams, McCullough on his first outing here in CKC, making the trip over from the Isle of Man in 7th, with Bobby Peat, Thomas Potter up inside the top 10, and then Harry Samuel. So we've got Larry Price leading the way But Max Wheatley keeping him honest as they make the run then down the hill. Wheatley with a look over the shoulder to make sure that there is nobody trying to come down the inside. And in the background there, I think the green helmet, that's Max Williams. There he is in the bright green helmet. Very similar in colour to that of Thomas Potter, but there's 3 or 4 places between them. So when they get together later on, it'll be very difficult to figure out which of the two it is. But at the moment, Price leading the way with Wheatley in second, but Amy Peacock has joined the party at half race distance and is close right in, and Wheatley gets a good run to the inside. Larry Price squeezes him to the inside and onto the grass. Drops 2 wheels, does Max Wheatley. And the leading trio now, that's going to back them in. That's Max Lewis trimming some of the grass here at GYG. And Amy Peacock is through into second place. So Wheatley, having taken to the grass, been squeezed to the inside, slowed enough to allow Amy Peacock through and down the inside into the Spoon corner. There is some lap traffic coming up. One of them, I think, will be Alex Lynn, whose car is going again, having spent a lap on the grass. Price takes a wider line down the hill. That could potentially allow Peacock to get a better run round the final corner. Right into the slipstream she comes. It's a long, long run now for Amy Peacock. Can she get alongside Larry Price up the hill, being assisted as well by Max Wheatley? Wheatley goes wide. He's going to try and get the cut back. The lap traffic in front is that of Alex Lynn, I think, in the number 6 car. That was the stationary cart that was on the grass when the yellows were coming out, so it looks like the marshal are meant to drag that back on, as that cart was just spinning wheels and going absolutely nowhere. As Peacock gets alongside, tries to run round the outside of Larry Price, and Price now has gone into defensive mode with 3 minutes remaining, still carrying enough speed as the blue flag is out for Alex Lynn. Now that doesn't mean that Alex Lynn has to come off the racing line. Karting isn't like Formula 1 where the blue comes out and you have to come off the racing line. That is just a flag for awareness to allow those drivers that are slow or that have been off the track and that the leaders or some faster carts are coming through. It is the faster cart that has to find a way past. The blue flag does not mean deviate from your line, because in karting you can turn the wheel so quickly that if you deviate off the line, you're likely to find a cart coming through and there is that chance of contact. So because the carts are so light, you can move them so quickly with that turn of steering wheel that the blue flag isn't for a driver to get out of the way. It is solely to allow them to know that there is potentially a quicker cart coming through. The leaders have managed to negotiate it fairly cleanly, and they have broken away with Price, Peacock and Wheatley the top 3. Sam Howell's not too far back and sets a personal best. Will have closed in ever so slightly, I'm sure, as does Max Williams and Max Greatrex, with Potter now up into 7th. Bobby Pete, Alex McCullough and Harry Samuel the top 10. We did have a big field spread, remember. The opening lap saw a number of drivers off. That was pretty much down to around about 17th at the time. Harris Alley was one of them involved. He's back up into 16th with Joshua Owen. Rio Ward Alley, I think, managed to get through it, but Isabella Stansmore Wilson, for the 2nd time today, was on the grass at the top of the hill up at Spoon. Larry Price, though, still leading the way here from Amy Peacock and Max Wheatley, as Wheatley there gets the nose underneath Amy Peacock's rear tyre. They go so light over there and they get the inside rear lifts up that Max Wheatley actually got the nose down the inside as Alex Lynn is gets a lap put on him by the rest of the remaining pack. So Lynn still carrying good pace, but almost a lap and a half, almost 2 laps now down after that opening lap incident saw him on the grass. Looks like Stanley Clark was one of them that was off as well. Him and Max Lewis some 40 seconds off the leading battle, so they're likely to get potentially caught as well at some point. Wheatley to Clark, who won the first race of the day. It's been a tale of 2 halves effectively for Clark. He's had 1 win and going to be right down now towards the tail of the field in heat number 2. Potter comes through on Max Greatrex. That's going to move him up into 6th place, right on the back of Max Williams now. And as we said, 2 drivers with similar, or if not identical, helmets, now running in 5th and 6th place respectively in the 24 and the 20 machine. The battle for the lead still raging on as they make their way up the hill. Still see Larry Price parking that number 97 car expertly to not allow those behind him to get alongside at all. They've got enough of a gap back to Sam Howell that even if they do slow themselves up by a couple of tenths as the time elapses, so it's a lap and a half for Price to hold on from Amy Peacock, that they're not going to back themselves into any other carts, as now Wheatley gets the run down the inside of Amy Peacock. He's tried that once or twice before, albeit later on into this corner now, and that's lost him a cart length or two to the back of Amy Peacock. So Larry Price from the outside of the front row leads them over the line with a cart length between himself and Peacock, and immediately comes across to the white line. On the inside does Larry Price. Peacock's going to follow him up. He's going to have to come out because the curb is so big on the inside that if you try and turn in there, you're just going to be outside wide on the grass. Is there anything Peacock can do? And the run down the hill then towards the carousel. Wheatley pushing along in third place, has closed back up as the leading duo as Peacock tries to stick a nose down the inside of Larry Price. She goes slightly wide. Will that allow Wheatley to come down the inside? Peacock into the inside of Larry Price as they go into the right-hander, tries to get alongside but can't. She's still there close enough. Is there going to be an opportunity open up as they head down the hill towards the final corner? Into Paddock Bend they come for the final time. They'll be side by side alongside, but Larry Price holds on to win heat number 2 from Amy Peacock and Max Wheatley, with Sam Howell and Thomas Potter in 4th and 5th. Williams will be 6th in front of Greytrex, Pete and Harry Samuel in 9th place. The timing's had a bit of a fit because it's put Harris Ali, who was off on the opening lap, right at the front. He was definitely not leading the way. There he is coming over the line, so it looks like his transponder's not picked up for one lap, and that's put him towards the head of the field in terms of the timing. Having a quick look at any other classes that come in terms of penalties, but there is your race winner, Larry Price, who, since he got to the lead after the start, was closed in there by Amy Peacock and Max Wheatley, but just put that number 97 cart where he needed to defend the corners, and drove expertly here at GYG to pick up maximum points in the second heat of the day for our Honda Cadet class.